Hi everyone, and welcome to the Virtuous Lady. On this channel, my goal is to motivate, inspire, and encourage you to live your best life to the fullest. Today our topic is going to be becoming the best you. Becoming the best you. And this is, I think, what many of us want down deep inside. It's just to become the best me, the best you that we can be, especially in these times. God has implanted so much potential and talent and gifts inside of all of us, but many times we get caught up in the business of life, and because of that, we're not able to go forward. We get stuck somewhere along the line, and we just settle. We're comfortable with where we are. We just stop and we settle right there. So this video, I'm going to be talking about how to become the best you and living your life as to the fullest. We have to learn how to become the best that we can be. We realize that most of the time it's an inside job, down inside, that we have to work on ourselves to be the best. We don't come into this world the best. We come into this world, and as we get older, we have to start working on us. We see things in our life that's not right. We see attitudes that shouldn't be there. We see we hear the negativity. We see things on social media. So if you're interested, for those that are tuning in for the first time, I'd like to say welcome to everybody. And for those that are returning, I'd like to say hi and thank you. So if this is something that you're interested in, please make sure that you like, share, and leave a comment as well. And if those that have not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a video. So we're going to get started. Okay, tip number one. We have to make a decision to change. Many times we see ourselves one way and we get upset, or we act out another way, or there's things in life that we want more of, or we want to be able to tap into that. So the first thing to do is to make a decision to change. I think with me, just using my personal experience during this pandemic, it was just because everyone, was kind of locked in to the house pretty much, especially in the beginning. It just gave me a lot of time to reflect on myself. How can I be the best person that I, can possibly be? Don't want to be a carbon copy of nobody else. All I want to do is just be the best that I can be. And I think that's what many of us, our goals is to be. And I think because of social media and everything, we tend to see how other people are and want to mimic them or want what they have. And it's not all about that. Can't nobody beat you can't nobody beat you being the best that you can be, but you. Can't nobody be Loletta, but me. So we have to make a decision to want to change. The change is not going to happen automatically. This is something that we have to work on. This is something that I've been working on more, I guess, aggressively than before. And it is a journey. You don't go to bed one day and wake up and all of a sudden, boom, And with me, it just took the Lord asking God to show me myself. I need to see myself in the mirror. I need to see where my shortcomings are, my attitude at times, that sometimes I didn't realize that it shows in my face, but, I don't want to come across in a negative way. That's never been me. I don't want to come across, the wrong way. So the big thing is just to make a decision to change. It's not based on materialistic things. We cannot rely on materialistic things to fulfill the need that we have. It's not because that's just a temporary fix. We go shopping and all of a sudden we feel good about ourselves. But then that wears off. And then you want to go shopping or doing whatever, over and over again. So that's just a temporary fix, but because it's not fixing the self inside. So, and then another thing is that we need to stop making excuses. Well, I've been like this all my life, so I'm going to die like this. No, regardless of how I've been, each day, each month, each year, my goal is to be better than I was. I want to be the best that God has made me to be, that God has made us to be. He's poured so much into us. And many times the potential is there, but we have to press beyond that, because the potential is something that we're reaching toward to be, to become, the wholeness, the complete package. That's something that we're reaching to become. And with God's help, we're able to accomplish that. But there's just some work that we have to do on our own. So we have to stop making excuses. And I began to think about the butterfly. And we all know the story that within the butterfly is beautiful. It's so beautiful that, they have places that you can just see just butterflies all over the place. They're beautiful. They're God's creation. God created them that way, but they didn't come into the world being that way. And as we all know, at the end is better than the beginning. In other words, when a butterfly is in a cocoon, it's struggling and fighting, trying to get out of the cocoon. That's a place that we find ourselves in many times. So, but at the end, it becomes unique, because you don't ever see two butterflies alike. They're beautiful. They're flying around, and it's something that everyone adores. But we have to make that decision to change, realizing that struggles and challenges are going to come along the way. Anytime you're trying to make a change, your body's going to resist it. Your mind is going to resist it. It's going to go back to what it's used to doing, what it's used to hearing, what it's used to seeing. So we have to push past that and first make that decision that we want to change. Number 2, stop comparing yourselves to others. And this is what many times we're doing, because everybody's calling. Someone else's calling is not your calling. So in saying that, everybody has their own journey. And I think the word says to work out our own soul salvation. This is something, it's an individual walk. It's a personal walk. So we all have our own journeys, because we all have different personalities. We all are different people. And because of that, we come into this world with our own uniqueness. And we have to kind of perfect who we are, perfect, what's inside of us. I hear many people say it was just a person inside of me that wanted to come out. You see that, you feel the potential, but somewhere along the line, either you didn't have time, you didn't know how to press forward, or you just gave up. So a journey is not necessarily, my journey is not necessarily like your journey, and yours is not mine. So therefore, our storms in lives, our challenges are going to be different. There's going to be some challenges that I go through that you won't have to go through. There going to be some challenges that you go through that I won't have to go through. So we have to stop comparing ourselves. We always, get to the point where you look at someone else's and stop for the things that they accomplished. Boy, I wish I could be like that. But we don't know what it cost them, what storms they had to go through to be the person that they are. We don't know that. And many times, if we knew their struggles, the behind the scenes, the things that we don't see, we see the outward, but we don't know what they had to go through to get to where they are. So basically what I'm saying is we got to stop comparing ourselves. Oh, she's prettier than me. Boy, I wish my hair was like that. Boy, I wish I was, 20 pounds lighter. Stop comparing ourselves to other people and accept you for who you are. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is encourage someone else. Encourage someone else. Our life becomes more fulfilling when we're able to reach out to encourage someone else. And I know this to be all true as an intercessor and a prayer warrior. I know many times, because I'm getting texts in for prayer, whatever, and or people calling me for prayer, or I'm seeing people in stores that's asking for prayer. Many times, especially when I'm warfaring, when I finish that prayer, I feel so uplifted. And I used to wonder why. It's like, I said, well, I really needed that prayer. And I'm like, no, I really needed that. I needed it and didn't realize that I needed it. But because we were created that way, we were created to bear one another's burdens, to bear the infirmities of the weak, those that are going through, because we don't know where we're going to be. And someone will be, lifting us up and praying for us or encouraging us. Life has its turns of events that we have no control over. So we're blessed when we're able to encourage someone else. And what I also learned is that the things that I'm going through many times is not necessarily for me. The things that you're going through are not necessarily for you. It's for someone else that's coming up that needs that. They need to know that I've been there. I've been there and done that, and I can show you or be a testimony to you on how I got through it and that God brought me through it. So I'll be able to encourage and help someone else that's going through the same situation. So we have to learn to encourage someone else. It's not all about us all the time. It's not all about me. And many times when things come my way, I always ask the Lord, Lord, what is it that you want me to learn from this? Because knowing that God is a purposeful God, He does nothing by mistake. Everything He does is for a purpose. He allows things to happen for a purpose. So my question is, Lord, what is it you want me to learn from this? And in doing that, be able to help and encourage other people that's going through the same thing. He created all of us to be givers to each other. So that is, and in the midst of that, we come with a testimony. It strengthens us, it encourages us, and we have a testimony that we'll be able to share and help other people through what they're going through. Tip number 4, make every day count. We have to live each day as if it's our last. Enjoy what you do. You may have a job that you're not comfortable with or that you don't care for, but it's paying the bills, it's getting you through. And we have to find some joy within our day. Living your life to the fullest, meaning that you're enjoying. We can dread things, but instead of dreading, well, Lord, I thank you that I have a job. It may not be my ideal job. It may not be my career. It may not be necessarily what I want to do. But there's somebody that will take your place in a heartbeat that don't have a job, that would do anything, for a job. And another thing is to use your time wisely. God has given us each 24 hours in a day. And my thing is, when I get up early in the morning, I want to accomplish as much as I can. Time to me is so important. When I lay down at night, I have to give an account to God. Lord, you gave me 24 hours. What did I do with this time? I don't want my time to be wasted. Each day, we are all getting older. We may not feel it, but day by day, we're getting older. And there's some things, 20, 30 years from now, we're not going to be able to do that we're able to do now. So use your time wisely. I'm learning to become a lifetime learner. I'm in the books all the time. I'm researching. I want to learn as much as I can. I don't have it all. And the more I learn, the more excited that I am, the more desire that I want to learn. And I want to be a person that never gets to the point of stop learning. I want to learn as much as I can, first for myself and also to share it with you. Tip number 5, have an attitude of gratitude. We must maintain a positive attitude at all times. There's always negative side of everything, but beneath the silver lining, there is something positive there. Your day might not have gone the way you wanted to go, but what good came out of that, And what I've learned, what you say a lot in church, that our attitude affects our altitude. When we go through a test or storms in life, you wonder why things keep repeating itself. It repeats itself because a lot of times we did not pass that test. How did you get through it? Did you pass it? Because God many times is trying to take us to another level. But in order to get to that level, there are going to be challenges that we're going to have to deal with. There are going to be life that actually happens that we have to deal with. And, people in our lives that aggravate us, get on our last nerve, but we still have to show love toward them. Many times they are our test, and we have to pass that test. If not, you get your money and you mess it up, blow it. Stimulus check come within 3 days, the money's all gone. We have to learn how to manage that. And you wonder why you're in the same situation over and over. It's like a repeated cycle, because there's a test yet that we have to pass, that we have not passed. Now, life is something that we can't control. We all know that. We don't know what our tomorrows is going to hold. Life just happens, but we can't control how we react to life, how we react to situations. Yes, we're human. Things are going to bother us. Yes, we're going to cry. Yes, we're going to hurt. But how are we reacting to it? We can't control how we react to it. And I've learned through prayer and trusted in God that He's just always been there to carry me through. He's always been there. He's never left me And he'll never leave you either. You know, when we begin to ask him to help us, when we begin to lean on him, many times things hit us so hard until we can barely stand on our own feet. And those are the times that we need the Lord to help us through those difficult times. Because our body was not made to deal with stress for a long extended period of time. And when your body's dealing with that, it's affecting your body, you know, and also in your mind, because that's one of the causes of this depression, because the stress level prolongs and keeps going and going and going. And when that happens, a lot of times you fall into depression, suicidal thoughts and all that stuff, mental health issues and stuff like that will kick in. I fight every day I'm determined to keep myself at peace. When things start happening that I don't have control over, I just know, Lord, I don't know what to do. You know, I just have to go to you and trust you. So prolonged stress, as it says, can cause, as I was saying earlier, can cause depression. And the Bible says, I think I wrote it down in Mark 11, 28 and 30. I didn't write the whole scripture down, but he says that his yoke is easy and that his burden is light. He wants us to bring everything to him. He has the yoke to carry the hard things that our body and our minds is not meant to carry. And it's during those times that he will lift that load, you know, for us as we're going through. Because we wasn't meant to carry that, but we have to give it to him. And things when I'm talking about life that we have no control over. You know, when you experience a death of a loved one or a dear friend, we don't have control over that. We don't have control over a loss of job many times, unless, you know, we do something foolish or whatever and got fired, whatever. But we still have to deal with the consequences of it, whether we did it or not. We don't have control over a divorce. You know, sometimes those are extremely painful. We don't have control over sickness many times, unless we've abused our bodies for years. But sometimes life just happened. It just happened. Sometimes even, you know, with finances, lack of the necessary finances to pay the bills. There's things that happen that can throw us over. But we have to keep our mind focused, keep ourselves positive, knowing, you know, that God is our Jehovah Jireh. And I rely on my dad, my Abba Daddy, to get me through many things. And sometimes it's just stress in the home, family. I call it chaos and stuff going on. So regardless of what the situation may be, we have to know that in the process of life happening, that we have to keep a positive attitude, thus he's able to get us through. All right, tip number 6, learn from our mistakes. Now, there's always something that we can learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are not necessarily negative, but many times you look, I messed this up, I failed. And mistakes is not necessarily, you know, if you look at it in a different angle, mistakes is not necessarily a negative situation, because failure in itself happens when you stop trying. As long as you're trying and trying, okay, it didn't work out this way. It just eliminated that process. Okay, go to plan B, go to plan C. You know, there's always other ways of doing it. You go to the bank and apply for a loan. The bank says no. Go to another one. It's not the end of the world. There's always ways to look at it. Or maybe there's things I need to do, get my credit or whatever straight, give me another 6 months, straighten things out. You know, so it's like a learning process. What have you learned from that mistake? What have you learned? And don't beat yourself up, you know, don't beat up yourself over it when there's nothing that you can, you know, when there's things that you've learned from it. Look at it as a learning experience toward your future, learning experience toward being a better you. Don't allow one failed test to stop you from being your best you. And what I find out is that diamonds, you know, everybody loves diamonds. I like them too. We love diamonds. And diamonds are made under pressure. It takes the pressure to make that beautiful diamond that everyone adores. So when you look at that, when we're under pressure, you know, that's when we're being made. You know, that's when the real attitude and everything will show. So realize that the best things come many times as we're under pressure, that we still have to press forward. Now, tip number 7, take responsibilities for your life. You know, success is being the best you that you can be of yourself, the best self the best version of yourself that you can be. It's not necessarily it's not the fancy car, the fabulous house. Those are perks that come along with things, but, you know, as far as flashy this, flashy that, that has nothing to do with being the best you. You know, being the best you and being successful, you know, at times it feels shaky or you're uncomfortable because in the process of you becoming you, the old self still wants to come out and do what it's been accustomed to doing. The mindset wants to do what it's accustomed to doing. Your body is demanding, no, I don't feel like walking today. I don't want to eat that. I want to eat this. You know, so it's going to make us feel uncomfortable, but we still have to take responsibility, you know, for our life. We're responsible for what we put in it, physically, what we're eating, what we put on it. If you know something is not good for you, don't do it. You know, and also what we put up here, what we allow, you know, people to come throw their garbage at your front door and you open the door and accept it. But I'm talking about a lot of negative stuff and you ain't gonna do this, you know, this ain't gonna work out. You know, all the negative stuff, leave the garbage in the garbage. It's not coming through my door. And we have to get to the point that we take responsibility for the things in life that we are responsible for. Number 8, that's number 8. Number 8, don't ever give up on yourself. There's times when you feel like quitting. There's times when you feel like throwing in the towel. Quitting should never be an option, you know, because when you quit, you'll never be the best person that you can be. You'll never even know the potential that's there in you if you quit. So we have to always strive, like every day, Lord, what can I do to better me? What can I do to better my knowledge? What can I do to help someone else? Never quit at that. It's easy to quit. You know, you wouldn't, you know, it's so easy to quit until that's what we do all the time. When we're working on ourselves, we just quit. So, you know, never give up on yourselves. And I'm going back to that butterfly that I was talking about earlier. The beautiful butterfly in the end, when you see how beautiful it is, he had to struggle to get out of that cocoon. Struggle. Now, if you take a cocoon and cut it open and release it, he's not going to be able to fly. That struggling strengthens his wings. That struggling and fighting and trying to fight through that is what strengthens his wings. So when he's, you know, when he bursts through, he's able to use his wings. His wings are strengthened now. And he's able to fly because he was able to strengthen his wings. So if we think we're going to get somewhere without any of the struggles, that's not going to happen. The struggles are meant to make us better. As I said, you know, in previous videos, it's come to make us better. It didn't come to make us bitter. It didn't come to break us, but it came to make us. So when you look at it in that attitude, you know, even with this pandemic, I said, well, you know, this is not going to get the best of me. We never experienced it before. Don't know nothing about it. But in the midst of that, I just know I just wanted to come out of all of this better. You know, I wanted to be better. I wasn't going to allow it to affect my mind or nothing like that or cause fear, you know, to step in. And actually it did not, because I was fighting toward that. In our lives, the struggle becomes real, just like the butterfly, you know, and real painful at times. And because it's a personal journey, you know, we're fighting for that life of contentment, that life of peace. And when you reach that, then you're reaching the best you that you can be. I want to read something that Michelle Obama wrote in her book. When you choose to become your best, you help yourself, but you now have the ability to help others. It may not, I'm paraphrase it a little, but you help yourself. But now, because you've helped yourself to overcome that, you have the ability at that point to go and help others. Okay? And the last one, number 9, remember your past successes. When you begin to remind yourself of the things that you've gone through, you know, many times, most of the time, we're stronger than what we think. So we look at it and we're saying, wow, you know, I got through this, I got through that. And, you know, I always give glory to God, because I know if it wasn't for him getting me through these things, it's nothing that I could do on my own. Yes, I can fight on my own. I can fight, you know, spiritually or whatever and work on me. But it ultimately takes God to give me the mindset and his strength, because he said, when I'm weak, he's made strong. And we have to remember the past successes, because that's what, if he did it before, he's going to do it again. You know, you get back in maybe some same situations. If he brought me through financially then, I know my God is going to do it again. And that's what strengthens me, because if we didn't have nothing to go through, we wouldn't have nothing to share because we didn't go through anything. We wouldn't have nothing to be able to help others with. So, you know, we have to remember your past experiences, because that's what's going to propel you many times when you feel like giving up. That's what's going to propel you for success and to be the best you that you can be. In doing that, we have to take time now to relax, take a breath, know that you're unique, know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, know that you are stronger than you think. And the word says that you are the apple of his eye, knowing that you are all that in a bag of chips because of him. And because of that, when we remember the past experiences, realize that, you know, if he's brought us this far, that he's not going to leave us, that we can make it through. So I hope that this has encouraged you to be the best you. Don't strive to be a carbon copy. Don't strive to be nobody else. But let's all work on ourselves, as I'm yet continually to work on minds daily. Let us all work on ourselves to see the best us that we can be, the best you that you can be, the best me that we can be. Sometimes you have to even hug yourself, you know, or pat yourself on the back. Don't look for other people to do that. But he will get you through to be the best you. All we have to do is ask him. At this time, this is the close. Those are all set, all 9. And I hope that this has encouraged you. Please feel free to give me a thumbs up, share, you know, and also to leave me a comment. Let me know which one was point, I guess, that you're dealing with in your life. I'm pretty sure all of us are dealing with more than one. But which was the one that most resonated most with you? Let me know in the comment section below. And for those that are new, I like to say feel free to subscribe. My goal here also, like I said earlier, is to encourage, motivate, and inspire you to live your best life. In order to live that best life, we have to be the best we that we can be. At this time, I'm saying bye for now. God bless. And be the best you that you can be.